Alright, so here with more Amstrad Action, as per usual. Uh, Continuing on, issue number 65, February 1991, if I remember right. And we're about to start Iron Man, or rather Iron Man Ivan Stewart's Super Off-Road. Super Off-Road? It was just Off-Road. We'll find out in a minute. I've forgotten. Anyway, Iron Man by Virgin, $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. Off-road racing is just like normal motor racing, only for mad people. The tracks are muddy, potholed, water-covered expanses of land. A bit like the beach at Western Supermare, really. It's not the sort of place you'd want to take your brand new Metro for a spin. It's lucky then that the vehicles used in Iron Man are specially adapted pickup trucks with big fat tyres and mega shock absorbers, making the ride just about bearable. There are several tracks to pelt your way around, and once you've done that, you can jolly well do them backwards. 4 cars take part in each race, with the option of either 1 or 2 human players. The computer takes care of the rest of the cars. 5 growing laps have to be completed before you are shown the checkered flag. The nature of the courses make that difficult. Staying in a straight line is an achievement in itself. It's all those hills, pits and bumps that do it. The robust little vehicle is thrown all over the place as it meanders around the track. Constant adjustments to the controls are necessary to keep on course. Crashing into other cars doesn't help matters. You get thrown into spins and end up getting very disoriented. A peculiarity to the control of the game is the way that acceleration works. Once set, speed remains constant. Letting go of the accelerator does nothing to slow your progress. If you crash, your car builds up to the same speed again. The only way to slow down is to apply the brake. This can be annoying at times, especially if you whiz off from a collision in the wrong direction. You can find yourself halfway down a straight before you manage to slow down and put things right. Extra bursts of speed are available courtesy of your onboard supply of nitro. The potent petrol throws your truck along at a terrific rate of knots for a short amount of time. This is handy for getting a head start on the competition, or when you've got catching up to do. It can be more of a peril than a boon if you mishandle it, though. Come off a bump badly, and you can find yourself going twice the normal speed in the opposite direction to the one you should be. Experience soon teaches you the right moment to use them. Additional supplies of nitro occasionally appear on the track. These can be picked up by driving over them. Bags of cash can be found lying around as well. Loot plays an important part in this game. Prize money is on offer at the end of each race. And you can spend your ballooning bank balance on improving your car. Various aspects of the vehicle's performance can be tuned up at costs depending on how good the upgrade is. Prices range from $10,000 for a refill of nitro to $100,000 for a faster engine. The sprites are small but are well drawn. The tracks are viewed from a kind of pseudo 3D angle with hills, dips and bumps. The 4-colour mode has been chosen with a muddy orange as the base colour for the tracks. The computer-controlled cars also use this colour, which makes them merge into the background at times, though their movement catches your eye. The players' cars are drawn in red and white, contrasting well. The way the little cars bounce around the track is brilliant. The scenery interacts with the cars in a unique way, and makes this one of the best games of its type. There have been plenty of other racing games in the past, but Iron Man is different enough to make it most definitely worth a test drive. First day target score, win 2 races in a row. Second opinion. Your first impression is of a wildly unplayable but fun game. The trouble is it stays wildly unplayable. The verdict. Graphics 79%. Tiny cars. Well drawn and solid looking. Sonic 66%. Tune plays throughout. Grab factor 74%. Appealing bouncy action. Keeping it in a straight line isn't too easy. Staying power 75%. The track's very enough to keep your interest. Not particularly playable even with practice. A rating 72%. A racing game that's on the right track. Okay. Let's get started. Off we go. Oh yeah, this Super Off-Road is really a little tiny text. Iron Man Open Shirts Super Off-Road trademark. Leland Corporation 1988. Player 1 control. Joystick, thank you. Player 2 controls. None. Published by Virgin Mastertronic. Game designed by Leland Corp. Commissioned by Steve Turner. Correct graphic roll 1990. Started. Player 1, press fire. Get ready. Alright. I had the automatic acceleration set, but no, it's not. Oh, no, we'll get stuck in there. Woo. Oh, we got out. Oh. It's nice that the CPU cars can get stuck. This one's cheating. Last lap. Yay! Yay! 100,000. What did we buy? The nitro accelerator. Increase our top speed. Use all our money. Race. Next stage. Oh god, get out. Oh god, get out of... Oh, jeez. That went poorly. Out of there. Well, now we're last. That's not good. We've got to catch up. Around. Third place. Increase acceleration, let's go. Next stage. Oh god, no, 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 no. Oh no, I lost. Let's just increase our top speed. Let's go. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was... These controls do a little weird at times. Even the AI gets confused by the controls. Where am I facing? God, go the right way! No, you idiot! It's hard to tell sometimes when you've been turned around. Oh God. Yeah, you can't tell if you've been turned around. It's weird. Oh, God, it's been turned around again. It's all sorts of weird. Go, Randy. Yeah. Okay. Now what do we buy? More shocks. More tyres. We ran out of tracks already. We've got to do this one backwards now. They're the fight again. Whew. There we go. We won 2 in a row. Improve that engine. Oh. Boom, boom, boom. Ah. Well, someone's firing a lot of nitros, trying to cheat. Doing the Denny Sullivan's what he's doing. Yeah. Okay. Might need more top speed off of that. up already. Oh, he's cheating! Get out. Well. It's nice that the AI can screw up too. Out of it. Up, 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 up. We somehow still won. You think it controls good? I mean, it controls generally fine, but it's whenever you hit something, you don't know if you get turned around or not sometimes. Yeah. Acceleration. Some more nitro. Let's go. Oh, hey, look, another track we haven't seen yet. Oh, there it goes. Alright, it turned me around again. And somehow we won again. Unbelievable. Top speed up again. On tube on some nitros. Oh boy, we're doing this track again. Off we go. Oh boy, it's this track again. Oh, turn around again. Already a lap ahead. We'll go wrong. Oh god, he's going. No, not that way! Oh, I screwed it up already. Oh! I don't want to turn around the way! No! Not backwards, you walk! Oh no, no. So far in front, we're still lost. Game over. I got through plenty of more stages than I thought I would. I saw all of them, I think. Been through at least one of them 3 times. Yeah, that's super off-road. It's fun when you get into it until you start continually rubbing against the wall. You can't turn. You instinctively want to turn the other way. You can't for whatever reason. It's really annoying. Anyway, we'll move on. Next game. This game is Badlands by Domark. $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. Motor racing has become more and more competitive with time. Not only do we have bigger, better engines and flashier, faster cars, machines guns and rocket launchers are as vital to the success of the driver as a full tank of petrol. Badlands is a futuristic follow-up to Super Sprint, Atari's addictive multiplayer racing game that stormed the arcades a few years ago. A difference is added violence. Missiles sit alongside the turbo acceleration power-ups. Apart from that, little has changed. 3 cars sit on the starting grid, and one or two of them can be human-controlled, opening up the way for a little camaraderie killing of your friends. The courses are all continuous circuits set in a different environments, such as a junkyard, a military base, or a prison. The surroundings don't really make an awful lot of difference to the game, although features like opening and closing doors in the prison do add a bit of variety. A number of laps need to be completed, and getting to the line makes you the winner. Winning is good for 2 reasons. 1, it means you stay in the race. You must beat the computer at any rate. 2, you get a bonus spanner for your efforts. The spanner business is the way to earn power-ups for your car. Spanners can be spent on such things as engine improvements, so you can go faster, accelerate better, etc. And of course, there's missiles. Shields are also available to protect you against any rocket attacks that may be directed at you. Spanners often appear on the racetrack and you can collect them by driving over them. Sometimes you find yourself going the wrong way just so you can top up your spanner collection. As well as the usual steer left and right and accelerate, you have the all-important trigger too. Normally bullets spew forth from your gun barrel. These don't actually do any damage to the target vehicle, but have the effect of slowing it down. Thus, if you're lagging behind, it's a neat way of making up ground. Equip yourself with missiles, and a heat-seeking rocket is launched following a stab of the fire button. This will eventually hit the closest car in front of you, and is even capable of maneuvering around corners as it pursues it. On contact with a car, the missile explodes, and the unfortunate victim has to wait a few seconds while a helicopter deposits a brand new motor on the track. Shields, however, protect you against missiles. Now that the computer-controlled cars aren't vindictive enough to even consider launching a missile at anyone, so single-player games are quite boring. If you are behind, unlikely, the computer cars have the pace of an arthritic tortoise. Simply let loose some missiles that pass the wreckage and drive on happily in the knowledge that you can live without fear of retaliation. Things are slightly more exciting in two-player mode, but only slightly. There's a certain amount to be said for taking on a non-silicon opponent. The racing becomes a lot more competitive, and it's no longer important that you're in the race, just as long as your friend doesn't. The problem is that while both of you amass huge stockpiles of missiles, you also amass equally large amounts of protective shields, and the whole exercise becomes futile. In fact, it's preferable to have no missiles at all because they don't do any damage to a well-shielded car, whereas at least the bullets slow them down. One thing that you can't fail to notice about the game is the spec factor. Little or no effort has been made in trying to make the game look even half decent. The colours are blocky. The cars and backgrounds are not at all well drawn. It looks like something you might have seen on a Spectrum 8 years ago. Amstrad owners have every right to expect better, much better than this. So Badlands looks dreadful. It plays okay, but not great, and may give a limited amount of two-player fun. Missiles don't add that much at all, really. A pity, since they sound like such a good idea. The computer opposition is not tough enough and doesn't fight back. If it were really playable, it may be enough to forgive the bad graphics, but it's not, and any merits the game may have had are lost. You'd be well advised to steer clear of this one. First day target score. Win in all 8 circuits. Okay. Second opinion, Badlands is one bizarre game. The graphics are incredibly basic for a CPC game of this day and age. Is there some mistake? Apparently not, and the game doesn't even play well. The worst thing of all is that when you compare it to Iron Man, the graphics are very similar, but graphically the Virgin game is about 1,000 years ahead of Domark's outing. Oh dear. The verdict, graphics, 23%. Shameful, spicky sprites. Backgrounds are almost non-existent. Sonic's 48%. The noise annoys. Grab factor 45%. Simple car control. The graphics put you right off. Staying power 38%. Unchallenging and uninteresting. There's nothing to keep you coming back. A rating 40%. Not the best of the genre. Okay. Okay. More racing fun, I guess. Engine presents Badlands trademark. Published by Domark. Quantum conversion by Tech London Limited. Proper cars with guns on top of them. Let's go. Waiting for other player to join in. The city. Oh, Spike's in the way. So, how do you shoot? Fire is accelerate. Oh. Well. This is going well. Yeah, well, we gotta continue. So what? How many spinners do we have here? 8? Okay. Oh, these is 2. This is 3. Okay. Ah, okay. Shoot by pushing down. That makes perfect sense. Let's go around the outside of it, that's fine. There you go. Okay. Still with a gun, I think. Speed. The volcano! One more left. It's 258. The desert. Oh, go, go, go. Go the right way, it helps. Swing right through the spikes on. Okay, off we go. Go through the spikes, it's fine. This is pretty much super sprint for bored people. One whole spanner. The prison! I'm going to try to take this shortcut. Oh. No! Oh. I'm going to try to get through there. Oh. We don't win this one, I don't think. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Here we go. We've got 3 spanners. What are we going to add? Top speed. The freeway. Well, I'm getting stuck. Okay, that worked. I did not expect it. I don't expect to make that jump. I hope that didn't count as a shortcut. Yeah, I guess it did. Try again. We're going to continue. I think we've limited continues somehow. Military base. Oh, really? Right, where am I? Oh! Game over. I don't know if we did all 8 stages. It wasn't 8. I think it was what? 5? 6? But whatever. Close enough. Yeah. We'll move on. Alright, next game is Line of Fire. This is going to be interesting. US Gold, $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. So there you are, a couple of mercenaries trapped in a large building, somewhat quite near a desert, but with a big river not too far away. You have powerful automatic weapons, muscles that make Schwarzenegger look atrophied, and brains the size of raisins. What are you going to do? After several hours of painful thought, you decide to escape. The only problem is with this is that there are hundreds of trained men with military hardware that could have someone's eye out if they aren't very careful. Usually, the best way out is to creep past all the guards, steal a very quiet lorry, and drive away quickly. But you opt instead for the running down the passageway, shooting everybody, even though they know you're coming plan. Nice move, Rambo. So off you go. You lumber along a series of corridors. Around every corner lurk dozens of armed men. You direct your gun sight onto one of them, one by one, as with Operation Wolf, until they blow up. It's possible to slaughter thousands while taking only minimal damage from their rifles. Occasionally, you stumble across medical packs. Shoot these and your health magically revitalizes. Also, there are extra weapons lying around, such as grenades. Shoot these too. In fact, shoot everything. You have no control over your movement down the passage. You just hold your thumb on the fire button and aim indiscriminately knots of at the knots of SAS men trying to thwart your brainless progress. Eventually, you'll get to the last corner. This is guarded by two very tough cookies indeed. They are bigger and harder than the others, and they dance around in a poncy manner, shooting you all the while. These men take a lot of killing, so use all your grenades and keep hosing them with machine gun fire. Once you've iced the big dudes, you get onto a jeep which happens to be idling outside. This drives off with you hanging out the back, machine gunning other jeeps as well as helicopters which hover overhead. It's another complete death scenario. There are more medic and ammo packs lying around, so blow these up too. Job done. You destroyed fleets of jeeps and squadrons of choppers. Now you get into a small motorboat. This chugs along while you blow up other people in motorboats, as well as the waiting men who are trying to shoot you. Bridges over the river hold yet more medicine and ammo, so you should be able to further replenish your stocks. If you boat your way through the waiting soldiers and get enough ammo and revitalization from the pack sitting atop the bridges you sail under, you'll be able to take on the hordes of hiding warriors. The boat stops, and you must snipe out all the blokes concealed behind a Stonehenge sort of edifice. Meanwhile, they're filling you full of more holes in a colander. Basically, the game is very similar to Operation Wolf, with the major difference being that you move in a kind of 3D, rather than just scrolling sideways. It isn't much of a new twist, it's more of a gimmick, really. By now, you may well be getting a little bit tired of the format. You'll certainly be getting frustrated by the speed of the game. It is very slow and jerky indeed. The enemy chug toward you in horribly rigid stages. Worse, your gunsight moves jerkily and very slowly around the screen. The result is that you can't destroy all the bods, even if you have plenty of time, because the sight moves so slowly. Frustrating isn't the word, as it's downright infuriating. The two-player option gives one person the keyboard to use and the other the joystick. You both have a gun sight on the same screen, the firepower is doubled. It is the version to play. Line of Fire's graphics aren't too bad though. True, they do look a bit dated, but they'd be fine if the game was more playable. The sound effects are not up to the same standard as the graphics, however, they really don't sound special at all. Sort of clicking sound accompanies you in the corridor. It occurs at the same time as the screen update. It's probably supposed to represent your feet clattering across the floor, but when you get into the boner boat, you might be surprised to find the same sound accompanies you there. The overall effect is disappointing. There's the feeling of having one's hands tied, and the lack of rapid, smooth control just makes you want to give up, lie down peacefully, and wait for all the guards to drill you full of lead. James Rambo Leach. First day target score. Get to the motorboat. Singing opinion. You'd have to become a fan of Line of Fire in the arcades to like the Amstrad version. Taken in isolation, it's just too jerky and slow to be convincing. An ambitious conversion that's ended up distinctly patchy. Verdict. Graphics 72%. Large and clear. Strange choice of colours though. Sonic 65%. Click your way through each level. Explosions are a bit muffled too. Grab factor 62%. Not really much to get you involved. But the total death concept is easy to grasp. Staying power 51%. You'll get fed up with the lack of speed and the lack of variety. AA rating 55%. It's just too slow. Huh? This is US gold, right? US gold. Okay. Off we go. How could this be bad? Line of fire converted by US Gold and Creative Materials Limited for Sega Europe Limited. Red and Blue, who succeeded in capturing the secret machine gun unit from the guerrilla base, here spotted by the enemy at just a moment before exiting and found themselves in a life-threatening situation. The only way to return alive is to break through the enemy line by using the weapons they captured. Obviously. Press fire to play. Okay. One joystick. Six options up and down. Press fire. Okay. Here we go. Just hold the button down. They all just explode when you shoot them. Just like normal soldiers explode when you shoot them. Ow. I missed them. It's easy just not to miss them. One of those packs tonight. Life back. Oh, easy, dude. These are grenades, apparently. Might as well use the grenades. We've got none left now. Oh, he's throwing rockets. It seems like he's dancing more than doing anything else. Mission 1 complete! Oh, stage 2. Now we get this real speed of the game. Do not get grenades back. Hey, avoid damage. Is this the thing? Shoot the bag, you. The first stage is alright. This is just painful. don't know if I hit any of those. I'm sure I hit one. Ah, missile. Can't really go from one to the other. It's the... I don't got any missiles, any grenades. Can't go from one place to the other. Did I not get any of those? Oh, can't hit anything. Got one. I got one grenade back. Almost did though. Not getting any of those grenades. We got a life back? Or do we have lives or something? I don't know. Didn't get any of those grenades. Oh, something speeds up. God damn it. Caution. We do it. Whoa. I'm sure this game needs a hit-miss ratio. We do not get lives back. But run a boat. Look at the boat. Oh, we got life. Do we just have a amount of lives? It just doesn't show you losing them. Doesn't he play lives? Oh, he's a dude. He's just standing there waiting for the boat to go run right over them. a boat. Oh, we got it. Hey, Lift Indy, we're playing Line of Fire. Not the fastest thing in the world. Oh. It just steadily drains your life. Game over. Well. Defeated by a stone end, which just, for whatever reason, just drains your life. You stand in front of it. At first stage was okay, it ran at a decent rate. The rest of it, not so much. Yeah, I think we'll move on from that. Next game. At the big time. The Hit Squad. For a small price, only $2.99 each. Our next game is UN Squadron. Apparently it's by UN Squadron, so this is. I think it's US Gold. Anyway, UN Squadron, $9.99 cassette, $14.99 disc, joystick or keys. Okay, so the Russians are now our friends. World War II finished nearly 50 years ago, and we haven't yet discovered anyone in space to start a conflict with. Who is left to kill in violent games? Oh, of course, the countries of the Middle East. So it's there that we head, in order to sort out the peoples of that war-torn region for once and for all. A squadron comprising 3 men and 3 different aircraft is sent. Greg flies an A-10 Thunderbolt II. He maintains stoutly it's ideal for ground attack. His pal Mickey flies the F-14 Tomcat, pretending to be Tom Cruise, taking a cushion to sit on so he can see out the cockpit. And their mate Shin from Japan stooges around in a F-20 Tiger Shark, not pretending to be anything. You choose which guy and plane you want, then fix yourself up for some weapons. There are a great many of these to choose from, but the best ones cost a lot of dosh, so you won't be seeing those for a while. Then it's time to take off. Once you're into the game, UN Squadron turns out to be a right-to-left scrolling shoot-'em-up. You must, quite simply, destroy everything. This idea and format isn't new. The enemy aircraft attack in waves from both sides, and there are tanks and artillery blasting shells up at you. Avoid, shoot, bomb. That's all you need to do. Holding the fire button down causes a stream of lead to be ejected from your front end. Dabbing it allows you to fire the special weapons you've bought. These might be napalm bombs, Phoenix bombing missiles, or 16-direction projection rockets. There are 11 such devices, so you're sport for choice. As you chug along, spraying steel-jacketed death at all and sundry, you get extra money points for your kills, as well as tokens which enhance your shields or give you more firepower. Sooner or later, you'll reach your objective. You've been briefed about this earlier. It might be a fortress, a huge armoured vehicle, or a tracked aircraft carrier rolling through the desert. Once you reach it, you must pour a withering stream of fire into it. Once it's destroyed, you move on to the next level. Your Squadron has a lot of attention to detail. Your choice of pilot, weapon selection, and briefing is done very nicely. The planes are actually recognisable when you're controlling them, and the weapons are varied and interesting, as are the enemies. The graphics and sound are very good. There are great many colours, a lot of nicely drawn sprites, and some super exploding noises. A tune also adds to the atmosphere engendered by the sound and graphics. The whole lot is let down somewhat though by the game's slowness. The scrolling is jerky and the response to your fighter is slow. This does tend to make the first 2 or 3 levels easy. Luckily, when things get crowded on screen, there is no further loss of speed. Surprisingly, perhaps you will need to think fast and move as quickly as you can in order to get out of some situations. Things can get pretty frantic, but this is solely due to the number of Middle Eastern baddies swarming around, rather than the speed as they are moving. There is extensive use of colour in the game, so much so that it gets hard to distinguish your craft from the enemy, and from the very picturesque scenery you are helping to destroy. It's like an explosion in a paint factory, caused no doubt by one of your smart bombs. So overall, UN Squadron is certainly topical. F-14s and A-10s in the Middle Eastern desert is an uncomfortable reality. But doesn't have the playability of the real thing. The missions you are briefed to fly are pretty similar to each other. Blast your way through the hordes of defenders, take on several hard-to-kill megaplanes or tanks, and then if your wings are still attached, go for the big target. The further on you get, the better weaponry and defense equipment you can afford, and trying to see what the next mission will be is all part of the fun. So it's a nice rendition of an old idea, but it's too slow. James Propeller Leach. First air target score. Complete the first 3 missions. Second opinion. Graphically it's fine to look at, but it's too slow and jerky to make a really good shoot 'em up. You can't say it's not topical though. The verdict. Graphics 81%. They certainly look big and colourful. Perhaps too colourful and difficult to see. Sonic 78%. Explosions, firepower, mayhem, and a jolly tune too. Grab factor 75%. It's easy to begin with, but although slow, it gets harder on later missions. Staying power 73%. Too slow to be really exciting, but you won't finish it too soon either. AA rating 75%. A good, nice looking arcade game. Unfortunately, it is too slow and jerky to be a rave. Okay. Oops. I've missed the letter. Here we go. Okay. Look, it's Tom Cruise. When you look on the box art, it looks even more like Tom Cruise. Look, they just lifted it off something. A Middle Eastern country has been in a dreadful state of civil war for many years. An organisation of arms dealers banded together to form Project 4 so that they could... Okay, never mind. The fighting in this area is ferocious. Shinkazama, Japan, F20. Okay. Only fate will determine if we live or die. Vicky Simon, USA, F14 Tomcat. Taking on this mission is like shaking hands with the devil. Greg Gates, Denmark, A10 Thunderbolt. Daredevils! We just don't use drugs. We use sessions directly, FBI. They had to put that in, didn't they? Add credits. Add credits. We're going to go up to 5. Change controls. Control joystick 1. 2 controls. Joystick 2. Daredevils. Right, let's get started. Thinking a pilot. I don't know how he sees out of hair covering one eye. The target is the multi-rocket launchers. The most vulnerable target is the radar installation, so avoid the missiles and attack the radar. Hey Shin, I have something for you. Are you interested? How much money do we have? 3,000. Bowl pup 2. There's more power than Bullpup. Obviously. They launch missiles in a wide range. Okay. Let's go. Thank you. Be careful. And yeah, it's a little slowly. Alright, now they come from behind. Oh. Ow. Oh, there's Herman. Wow. It's home, Dryden. You can shoot it. It's hard to do though. Mission 1 clear bonus. 10,000. Mission 2. The target is the invisible stealth bomber. Can attack targets without being detected. Homing missiles won't even detect it. I have something for you. Are you interested? Falcon Phoenix. It chases enemies! The strongest homing missile. Actually, we have 20,700. Thank you, be careful! Oh, look, we've got parallax scrolling! Woo! Oh no, they're coming from behind. home missiles can't hit it. Mission 2 clear. Whew. Turn disc over. Press any key. Uh-oh. Pause while I do this. Might work. Mission 3. The target is the forest fortress, equipped with many large gun batteries. Even the surrounding woods are full of weapons. Hey Shin, I have something for you. Are you interested? Shell, super shell. 43,000 by that. By shield. Recovers damage 3 times. Yeah, destroy the trees! Destroy the trees! Tank coming up behind me. Subbuteo's pretty good. These secrets? Next secrets? Oh, I didn't put in the secrets. Huh? Special weapon. How we survived that without even losing the shield? Before the target is the carrier, it can move around on the ground and its striking power is 4 times greater than a regular carrier. Okay. Napalm. Bomb 2, napalm. We'll go for napalm. Can't afford anything else. Tanker, be careful. Right? Enemies are taking multiple hits now. What happened? Ah! Oh. Oh. Continue. Well, we can continue at least with something. I shot them right through, huh? Wow, that was... Oh, jeez. Oh, that... Jump bombs. More bombs, more bombs. We should be alright now. I'm gonna go through that middle. Clear. Mission 5. Target is a bomber called Basin. This huge bomber carries a fighter inside and the fighter can take on. Okay. Okay, sure, I got something for you. Are you interested? Pistols again. Oh boy, we get the rocks to destroy the mountainside. another one. Boss. Fight all our rockets. The objective of the operation is to destroy the missile launcher located at the end of the cave. So the cave is very narrow. Napalm. Sure, napalm. Extra life, might need it. Fighting on me. Oh god. Pretty sure it continues limited. There's a destructive mark. 6 clear. I don't expect to get this far. Cover is a bomber called Bullhead. We expect a certain amount of damage, but we know you will do your best. Good luck. Oh boy. You spend all the money. Paying attention. Oh. Oh, another one. Oh jeez. No one just came up from behind and generated me. God damn it. Game over. Damn it. That's that. Oh. That'd be better, just needs more. Just needs more speed. That's all it needs. Swivel, good. Ah, long enough, we'll move on. Right, next game. Rent and play. Oh boy. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Imageworks. $12.99 cassette. $16.99 disc. Joystick or keys. The mean, the green, and they're on your screen. These sewer-dwelling amphibians have appeared in comics, on TV, and in the movies. And now they're moved from cinema and hit your monitor screens. What a mess, it'll take ages to scrape them off. The game isn't a license from the film. Instead, it offers an alternative plot that involves the scaly superheroes and all your other favourite characters. There are evil goings-on in New York City, and as you might expect, Shredder and his Foot Clan are behind it all. First, April O'Neil, Ace Reporter and Turtle Chum, has been kidnapped. The Fab Four need to fight their way through Shredder's evil minions and rescue the distressed damsel. Only one turtle can be controlled at a time, and choose between any of them anytime you're above ground. The turtles act in effect as 4 lives. They don't get killed, though only captured. There's little to choose between them, although each has a different weapon to attack with. They all have the same knockout effect on the baddies that they bash. The game starts above ground. The turtles are tiny up there and are vulnerable to the attacks of bulldozers and roaming ninjas. There are portals plenty to the sewers, though, and it's through these that the turtles must make their way to free the captive newsgirl. The sewers, too, have their dangers. Giant mutated creatures guard them. Giant bees, frogs, and eyeballs keep you at bay. They follow preset patterns, though, simply moving left and right, or up or down. To kill them, simply stand near them and swing your weapon. If you do blunder into them, then the energy is lost. Scattered throughout the sewers are pizzas to replenish your depleting strength. Extra weapons can be found too. Sometimes it's worth visiting a section of a sewer that you know leads nowhere just to stock up on these vital extras. 2 end of sewer guardians have to be overcome before April can finally be freed. These need to be hit several times before they succumb to the blows of your weapon. They keep on advancing towards you, so you need to duck and dive and go in for the occasional strike to finish them off. Once you've rescued April, there's no time to rest. The Foot Clan have planted bombs in the city dam, and you have to choose one of your heroes to defuse the devices before the city's flooded. There are several bombs planted inside the dam, but thankfully, simply swimming into them diffuses them. Laser beams span the channels, though proving harmful should you attempt to get through at the wrong moment. And there is a strict time limit as the bombs tick down, so speed is of the essence. You need to plunge through as quickly as possible, regardless of the danger to yourself. If you don't make it in time, then it's game over, no matter how many tools you may have left. Level 3 sees you searching for a machine that can turn Shredder back from a rat into the man he once was. Okay. You're back on the surface again, but this time you have the advantage of the turtle wagon and can run your enemies over with it. Apart from that, it's much like the first part, switching between upper and lower levels. The scrolling is good in all sections of the game, but on the surface it's very fast and smooth, while in the sewers there's a superb parallax effect. Graphics too are excellent, especially in the underground sequences. They're large and easily recognisable. Bright colours have been chosen, and they fit in well with the whole turtle atmosphere. By comparison, sound is disappointing. An unrecognisable tune plays when you first load the game, and once you enter the fray, sound consists solely of rude rasps. On the first few goes, you come across it frequently. Once you've sussed out how to handle each particular section, though, progress is rapid. The different sections do add variety, and it's still kept at a very simple level. Simple controls and readily identifiable graphics will appeal to turtle fans of the younger age group everywhere, but it may be a bit limited for serious gamers. Still, turtles will sell on the name alone, and so it's a good thing the game is not a turtle waste of time. Oh. First our target score is Rescue April O'Neil. Awesome turtle facts. Impress your friends with your turtle knowledge. Turtles are part of the Chelonian family. Chelonians are reptiles, most of whose body is enclosed in a bony capsule. The turtle family has lived on Earth 100 times longer than man. The largest living turtle is the leatherback. They average 6 to 7 feet from head to tail, have a flipper span of about 7 feet, and weigh up to 1,000 pounds. The biggest example of the species wound up dead on Harley's Beach, Wales, on the 26th of September 1988, It weighed 2,120 pounds. Its dimensions were a length of 8 feet long and a width of 8 feet. You can go and see it at the National Museum in Wales in Cardiff. The largest turtle ever lived in prehistoric times, around 5 million years ago. Fossil remains discovered in Venezuela in 1972 indicated a turtle measuring 9 feet 10 inches long. Its computed weight was around 4,500 pounds. Here's a turtle. Second opinion. Turtles was a pleasant surprise. The graphics are great and the gameplay much deeper than I was expecting. Not a game to absorb the more mature games player for long, but a highly decent outing for the young'uns. How to be turtly awesome! You too can make your very own turtle suit the Blue Peter way. Instead of spending pounds and pounds, you can make one for nothing using simple items you can find around the house. The most important feature of a turtle is the half shell. This is your protection, and it's what makes the turtles such awesome fighters. It needs to be round and tough. The dustbin lid at the end of the garden, usually found on the dustbin, is ideal. You'll need to cover it with green paper and strap it securely to your back. Each turtle has its own colour-coded bandana. This isn't to hide their identities, it's so you can tell them apart. Blue for Leonardo, red for Raphael, orange for Michelangelo, and purple for the other one. Nip upstairs to your parents' bedroom. One of your dad's silk ties should do the trick. Don't forget to cut out a couple of eye holes so you can see where you're going. Whilst you're in your parents' room, find one of those horrible belts with a big buckle that your mother keeps wearing. Strap it around your middle and glue the initial of your favourite turtle in the middle. This can be made from milk bottle tops. The turtles are green, you're not. To make yourself convincing, you need to undertake a radical colour change. Go to the garden shed, amidst the tins of weed killer and cartons of engine oil, there should be a few pots of old paint. Prise the lid off the green and tip it over your head. Don't worry if you can't find any green paint. A mixture of blue and yellow in equal amounts will make the right colour, roughly. You're almost ready now, and all that's left to do is arm yourself. Your choice of weapon depends on the particular turtle you want to be. You should find what you need in the kitchen cutlery drawer, though. Now you're a turtle, you should act like one. Open the freezer, take all the pizzas you can carry, go down to the sewer in the road outside your house, and find a rat to befriend. Then have a lot of exciting adventures. Cowabunga! Yep, I'm sure that's all perfectly normal. The verdict, graphics. 84%, big, bold, and instantly recognisable characters. Sonic's 46%, not brilliant. Grab factor 81%, easy to control and lots of variety. Staying power 72%, a bit limited in the long run. AA rating 76%, turtles ain't bad despite the hype. Okay. Okay. Hopefully this is the right one. It should be. There they are. Yeah, this is the right one. Probe did this. Shredder. Oh, that's right. I think we need the copy protection thing. Let's go find that first before we do anything. Because I think otherwise Shredder gets angry. Level codes. Okay. Right, press a key. Shredder requires you to type code from your manual for L across 9 down. That is the L 9 down. 0567. Shredder accepts that. This is Shredder. Listen to me, Turtles. We have taken April O'Neil. To get her back, you must defeat the Foot Clan. We are waiting for you. Ha ha ha. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Trademark. April O'Neil. Trademark. Shredder. Trademark. Foot Clan. Trademark. Bebop. Trademark. And Rocksteady. Trademark. Original trademarks of Mirage Studios USA, or as reserved, is with permission, based on characters and comic books by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, copyright 1990 Mirage Studios USA. Published by Mirrorsoft Limited under license from Konami and under sub-license from Mirage Studios USA. Konami is registered trademark by Konami Industry Co. Limited. David Perry and Nick Bruti, they did this. It will be as good as Savage. One play of keyboard. No, play of joystick. Pick a turtle. Okay. Oh God. Alright, get back in there. Don't climb back out again. Turn around. Jumping is awful. You can't. You jump, hold forward and up. He just jumps up. You jump up and then push forward. It's weird. Do it eyeball. Do it on fire. Ow. Another dude on fire. Come here. Come here. Okay, now we're here. Oh no, watch out for... Okay, this is about as far as I get, because I think... I'm come across either Bebop or Rocksteady, I'm not sure which. I forget which. It just seems hard for enemies to take multiple hits to die. You get a pizza right before though. There's something. Mountain B first. Oh, there he is! Oh God. And they just... Oh jeez. God. Yeah! Get wrecked. Just really can't mash fast enough. Do the stage over again. take all this damage? There must be some strategy to it. I'm sure people have finished this before. It's awful. People, let's take an April. Oh, we did it. Somehow we did it. Ah! Bulldozer! Okay, it's safe then. Can we go in here? We can go in here. Here's a pizza. Ah! Can't duck. It's a pizza. Can't go in here. There's a sewer here. Ow. Another pizza here. Leave that for now. In case you like need it or something. Ah. Well, there's nothing here. Oh, splat. Oh, it's a conveyor belt. Doesn't look like it's moving, but it is. Oh god. God. Oh god. There's more to the stage. Oh no. Well. I don't have much choice, do I, huh? Okay. God damn it. Okay, so you can't hit these. back here. Come on. This way. Oh, you're there. Right. Oh no, he's back. Oh, pizza. Oh. Thanks! Don't let the Foot Clan destroy the dam! Go on! We've got to get to it first. Must be a pizza somewhere. Oh. I could use a pizza. Oh god, I'm going to die getting through here, aren't I now? Okay. Oh, we're in the dam! Doing the damn thing. Ow. Well, this is not going to last long at all, is it? You have failed! That was not a lot of time. Great new high score! Okay. Alright. Well, that was a game. No, we've still got the coin up to come. That'll come later in the year. Anyway, we'll move on. We actually got to stage 2 somehow. Did not expect that. Alright. Back to the magazine. We have one last game to Subbuteo. We got more football. Everything was a port of something else. Now we got Subbuteo. The football by Trunk Zoo. $9.99 cassette. $14.99 disc. Joystick keys. The whistle blows, the crowd roars, and they're off. 22 injection molded plastics players spin, slide, and wobble a lot over a cloth-covered table. Subbuteo has been with us for over 40 years. It's a sort of tabletop footy sim where you ping your players around a pitch with your pinkies. You flick them in an effort to put a ball the size of a small country in the back of the opposing team's net. A set of complicated rules almost, but not quite, entirely unlike footballs, have to be observed. You have to flick your players at the ball. The ball remains in your possession every time you strike it. You cannot go for the ball when the other player has possession, but you can take a defensive flick instead. You gain possession if the ball goes into you or the other player fails to hit it. Simple, eh? Well, there's a bit more to it than that, but those are the basics. Now, the thought of putting all this into a computer game may seem a bit of a daft idea. It didn't deter Electronic Zoo, though. The company reasons that it's much more suitable a subject than trying to simulate the real game of footer because it's designed for just 2 players in the first place rather than 22. all the pictures in view at once. The screen can be scrolled up and down to display the rest of the playing area, though. This does mean that sometimes you cannot see all that's happening, but it's preferable to having a tiny ground to play on. Yeah, just flick them little players around. On your turn, you can select any of your players. Once you've chosen one to flick, or direction is decided by rotating a small spot around the player. It's quite fine-tuned, but you cannot always hit the ball directly at the angle you wish. Then comes the actual flicking. Two parameters are involved here, the power and the spin. A couple of bars to represent them appear at the side of the screen. Keep the button pressed down and the power button rises. They go to select the strength of your shot. A similar system is used to get the right amount of spin on the player. It's quite tricky to get both the strength and spin exactly how you want them. You have the option to play against the computer or a friend. There's an 8-player league which can be made up from a combination of human or computerized contenders. At the start of each game, the duration of each half needs to be set. This can be anything from a minute upwards and preset at 15 minutes aside. The computer can play to 3 skill levels: amateur, league, and international. The computer plays very well. It seems to consider all the possibilities before eventually selecting the best move. The picture scrolled up and down while the machine is thinking, just as if you were playing a person. When it has made up its mind, it shoots using the same system as the human player, but usually with pinpoint accuracy. The problem is that the computer is just too damn good. The different levels seem irrelevant. Even on the lowest, it seems able to get the ball from impossible positions. What's worse is that it's unfair. It hits home with shots that a human player couldn't even hope to attempt. The game is quirky too. Rather improbable physical laws govern strength, spin, and angles. What seems to work in one instance may not work in another. This means that once you've mastered the basics, it's difficult to improve. One-player games, therefore, are frustrating. You know you'll lose every time. Two-player games are a different matter altogether, though. The critics are still there, but as you are both at the same disadvantage, it makes for a very competitive and controversial match. Subbuteo, then, is very much a game for 2 players. If you don't have any chums, then don't bother. Get a group of pals together, though, and you'll have hours of fun. Second opinion, Subbuteo takes dedication and real skill to master, neither of which you have. However, it is certainly quirky, and if you don't have the patience, it will frustrate and annoy you. First day target score a goal against the computer. The verdict, graphics 45%. Round blobs aren't exactly the prettiest thing. Sonics 0%, not a squeak. Grab factor 65%. Controllers initially fiddly and difficult. Staying power 82%. Once mastered, 2-player games are excellent. A rating 75%. A fun but quirky game. Alright, let's get this started. Is it 1T or 2Ts? We'll find out. Oh no, that's correct. Okay, good. Okay. Subbuteo, the computer game. Goliath Games. I thought I said no music. Oh, this is a Spanish version, huh? One English version. I'm sure I had an English version somewhere. Try this version. Speed it up. There you go. League game, single game, load league. Enjoy the supposedly silent game. Play a single game. Team name. No. Joystick. Computer. Huh? Just time for one half. Oh, make it 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Novice League Internet. Novice. Win the toss. 433, 424, 235, 433. Oh, I wanted to. That's the one I wanted to select. Illegal kickoff. Retake the kick. Abort. Yeah. See, that's how kickoffs should work in football. You just kick the ball into your opponent's face. Works perfectly. Oh, doing anything? Oh, you guys. Defensive flick. And no. Which would be perfect. Okay. Sure. Oh, okay. We got it. Player fouled. Move. Oh. Defensive flick. No, you're not going to shoot from there. How are you going to shoot it from there? I shouldn't say that, probably. Huh. Oh, we return. Direct free kick. Move players back. Choose a player to take the kick. This is fun. Positional flick. Sure. Finished yet? Sure. Close enough. Oh, think he's going to shoot absolutely perfect? Should do it absolutely perfectly. Oh, no. Defensive flick. Sure. Player fouled. Move players back. Onside flick. I don't get it. Oh, God. Not sure the meaning of the spin bar. Do you have to load for no spin at all? I can't tell. Hard to figure out. So he takes his time thinking. Whoa, jeez. Okay, the centre seems to make it spin too, so I get the spin. Please have the bar empty for no spin. I get it. The CPU player didn't have any spinny about the centre. I don't get it. Well, at least the goalie moves on his own. There's something. Goalie can kick this out, surely. No, I can't. Okay, time for you to make your move. Whoa, yeah, that is a curve. Half time. No score. Okay, kick off. So in the centre of the top part of it, there's no spin. Defensive flick. No. Can't select the goalie. Oops. Whoa, that's the wrong direction. I didn't choose the direction, did I? That was stupid. So what are you going to do? Your players are down here. Oh, now he is. Oh, that was not powerful enough. Oh, here we go. He's going to score with this, that's for sure. Go! Um, what am I doing? Here we go. Oh. Throw in. Pick a player to take the throw in. Positional flick. Sure. Take the throw. Defensive flick. No, I don't think I can get to that ball there. Sincerely. Oof. Player fouled. Oh. Well, what are you not allowed to do? I don't know the rules of this game. I think I understand football better. So I don't know what this is about this game. This game has sound. In game, it's not a lot, but it's not nothing. What is that? Sure. Time's running out. Hurry up. Taking too long to think. Oh. What? Pick it. Thank you. Oh, that went a little far. Full time. Well, we lost. Surprised. We hit the music again. This again. That was a football game, I guess. Once you learn all the rules, I suppose, to make it nice and easier. Anyway. I think that's all the games. Yeah. World next. So yeah. Alright. Soccer Seer, the friendly pools predictor. Seer Soft, Good Hope House, first floor. Okay. Good. The Borg, a 4-page section this month as the Borg does have a homebrew survey. The Borg's keyboard has positively been steaming in the past month as the Belga has been playing not one, not two, but 12 adventures. Yes, in the past 4 weeks, I've explored the outermost reaches of the galaxy, visited Death himself, explored shades, found something nice for my bedside table, and saved the world at least twice. All will soon become clear. Golly gosh, a little new snippet for you. These cheerful chummies, the famous five, should soon be making an appearance in an adventure, complete with Timmy the dog. 5 on a treasure island is to be converted to the CPC from the Sam Coupe, and should be absolutely scrumptious. For more details, write to the maker, Enigma Variations. A Beginner's Guide to Adventures. £3. Dave Harvard, Alice Adventure Software. A Beginner's Guide to Adventures is designed as an introduction to computer adventuring. It covers many aspects which may confuse the novice adventurer and bridges some of the gaps in understanding how they work. Published by Mandy Rodriguez H. Belg, editor of Adventure Probe, and written by a Lord of Adventure, Dave Harvard, the guide is a great idea. Adventure games can be at times very unfriendly for the beginner, giving the impression of being boring, complicated, and difficult when they're not. The book covers a broad range of adventuring subjects. Although loading problems are not mentioned, Dave has planned a separate book especially for the subject. Luckily, the CPC is rarely afflicted by loading problems, unlike its 8-bit cousins. Apart from the purposeful omission of loading problems, nothing seems to be missing. The guide covers subjects such as mapping, mazes, different types of adventure, synonyms, very useful, and the sort of problems to solve. Half of the guide's 50 pages are taken up by a step-by-step journey through an adventure called The Golden Apple by Arctic, with added notes and maps. It is a shame that Dave chose to cover an adventure that is not available on the Amstrad in his example, but it doesn't make any difference. You learn from the example game how to play adventure and understand its responses. A very well written book, which is an invaluable aid to anyone who has just started playing adventure games or is interested in them. It takes you from being a novice through intermediate and onto an experienced level. Simply Magic, 225 cassette, 425 disc, WoW software. In a bygone age, shrouded in the mists of time, dwelt a master magician by the name of Merzel the Magnificent. Not being a young man, he sought to find a successor to his power. A series of tests were devised for those who thought themselves worthy of his title. Beneath his castle, Merzel had many strange rooms and a labyrinth, which has only 2 locations, and it is there you shall meet the challenge. Simply Magic is a GAC game written by Michael and Jane Chihuela. It isn't your usual adventure. The location descriptions are even shorter than an Interceptor game, but each location has a picture to go with it, some of which are very good. Whilst playing the adventure, you are occasionally visited by the Angel of Death, another good graphic, who drains some of your valuable energy. Don't worry, those energy pills randomly appear while you play. Simply Magic is a game you'll either love or hate. It can be very frustrating at times. It is incredibly difficult to map, more often than not. If you go south from a location and then go back north immediately, you will not return to the same location. If you go south twice from the Room of Wishes, you'll end up back at the Room of Wishes. Which is most annoying, however, is that some of the rooms in the game seem to have a random function built in. Rooms seem to move around, and you can never really tell what the next room will be from them. Perhaps this is to add to the highly magical atmosphere, but to be honest, it's a real pain when playing and trying to make a map. The puzzles in the game are also different to a normal adventure. Each room has a description such as Room of Wisdom, Room of Bewilderment, Room of Unhappiness, in which certain actions, such as crying in the Room of Unhappiness, are needed to elicit a useful response. The game is logical in a warped sort of way. You need to give the pearl to the old man in the Room of Wisdom, Pearl of Wisdom, you see, tie a knot in the handkerchief to avoid falling prey to the Room of Forgetfulness, etc. An ingenious idea, this form of puzzle works, but it certainly is an acquired taste. To be honest, Simply Magic would be a poor game without the graphics, and it is a shame that Joan has chosen to release this game before the others. However, it is difficult to criticise. It has been playtested by Joan and is flawless in this respect. Worth buying, but don't expect it to be easy. Atmosphere 44%, interaction 49%, challenge 67% overall 45%. Well news, Joan Pancott, H. Pill, is an amazing person. Not only has she been running a helpline for over 5 years, aiding over 8,000 callers with their problems, she has now created WoW software to provide Amstrad users, especially the oft-forgotten 464 owners, with software. Simply Magic is Joan's first game from an impressive catalogue of titles soon to be released. PD galore. More and more public domain adventures are being released on the CPC, and it's no bad thing. They're cheap, easy to obtain, and good fun. Although a lot are of poor quality, as is the case with a lot of PD software, every now and then you find the odd jewel of an adventure. The Bulldog was pleasantly surprised by the quality of a lot of the PD games. Many, though not state of the art, are enjoyable to play and are well written. Can I Cheat Death? Blue Raider and Raider. PD Disc 15, Adventure Disc 1, Skull PD. £1 plus disc. Can I Cheat Death is the first of a trilogy of adult adventures by Simon Avery. The story is this. As a visit to the fortune teller Madame X, you are told you do not have much longer on this world, even as now the sands of time are running out and Death sits on his house sharpening his scythe ready to collect your soul. But you do have one chance to substitute your life glass with something with more sand in it and travel through the strange land to confront Death. The adventure is a little risque in some parts, so Simon has given it the 16 plus certificate. Blue Raider is a two-part adventure by Matthew Roberts. You play the part of Kiloon, the Blue Raider, and you are under the command of Queen Kimbra. She has had most of her land taken over by the Krags, an evil race of hideous creatures seeking total domination. As part of the Queen's elite, you have been assigned a small island of about 80 miles off the mainland that you must reclaim by killing Ariel. He is not a well-known soap powder, but in fact the Krag currently ruling the island and the castle to the north. Okay. In order to kill him, you must seek out Quillen, a wizard who backs the rebellion who can help you. The Krags are a powerful lot, so you'll need magical weapons to defeat Ariel. Blue Raider is written in BASIC, one of the worst languages to write an adventure in, but is actually alright for good combat sequence. Raider, you are a young warrior wanting to prove yourself. You decide to embark on a dangerous trip into the lands of Arlane, where many a brave soul has perished. You ignore the warnings of the village elders and pleadings from your family and stride out across the cold, unforgiving wilderness. Raider is a role-playing game in which you can play up to 4 people at once and even play with 3 friends. You can explore both above and below the mythical land of Arlane, searching for the 4 pieces of treasure needed to complete the game. Included with the game are character designers, map makers, and a character editor, so that you can make your own games. Raider would be an okay game if it wasn't for the speed it runs at. It is so slow. As mentioned by Caroline Lamb in the AA62. Okay, I think we missed the line here. Classic Adventure from Wacky. As mentioned by Caroline Lamb in the AA62, Free for All Classic Adventure is just that, a classic adventure. A CPM text-only game. It is based on the very first adventure game ever written by William Crowther and Don Woods on a mainframe computer. This faithful copy by J. Jaeger is more than 100k in size. You start inside a well house and must explore the area and collect various treasures hidden in the caves beneath the ground. As classic was the first ever adventure, you'll see puzzles such as dropping the bird to attack the snake, uttering magic words to teleport, and watering a plant to make a beanstalk, which have been used in many adventures since. But remember, they were here first. Many software houses have produced versions of classic adventures such as Melbourne House, Amsoft, and Level 9 on the CPC. This is your chance to play it for free. An added bonus is that all the room descriptions and messages are held in ASCII files so they can be loaded into a word processor and modified. A historic game that is a worthy addition to the Adventurers collection. Oh boy. Adult 2, Doomlord's Firestone, spaced out Walladay. PD Disc 19, Adventure Disc 2, Skull PD, £1 plus disc. All the adventures in the disc are written by Simon Avery. Adult 2. After your recent fame at cheating death, see Adventure Disc 1 review, your live-in girlfriend complained that you were becoming big-headed and quite unreasonably locks you out one night. You feel sure that if you can get back into her house, you can win her over with your irresistible charms. Your quest, therefore, is to find her house. Alcohol has dimmed your mind. The keys, and get inside. A nice little game that is definitely for the 16 plus and may be offensive to some people. Well put together and humorously written, Simon has been compared to Richard Dungeon's Amethyst Alchemist and everything, the artist from outer space, Robinson, in his adventure writing style. He certainly can write funny, well-structured adventures if he puts his mind to it. Doomlords, your name is Golovin. You're a fierce and noble warrior whose honesty has earned you an enviable reputation. At least that's what you said at your trial. You see, you were accused of looking at the chief's young daughter and found guilty. The chief has himself passed sentence on you and has given you a choice. Either you go and find his daughter who went missing after your alleged crime, or be tied to a spit and roasted. Now, at times like this, you look at your friends for help. Unfortunately for Golovin, his friends could be counted on Lefty Mahoney's right hand. So you, Golovin, set off to find a certain young lady. Doomlords is a 3-part quilled adventure which shows that Simon can write serious good games as well as writing humorous adult titles. Doomlords is easy, so it's ideal for the beginner, especially as it is so cheap. Firestone, you have been chosen to save the world. How can you go about this is a little unclear, but it involves finding the legendary Firestone. During your travels, you must kill the Svart King, feed the odd rock goblin, and cross dangerous chasms. A good, easy-to-complete game, again ideal for the beginner. Logical puzzles and well written. Spaced Out. You are Ed Ringer, ex-space governmental spy. After you sell some interspatial secrets, your bosses take offense and sentence you to death. By some miracle, you escape and board a shuttle to the moon. At the lunar terminus, you are jumped by 2 agents and once again manage to escape. In your rush, you jump into the first buggy you see and drive off into the lunar plains. The buggy runs out of power 400 kilometers out. Unfortunately, you grind to a halt by a deserted base station. Your task is to escape from your pursuers. A small adventure, it only has 39 locations, but good fun. Once again, it is easy to solve. Welladay. A rather strange adventure. The thing is, your bedside table seems to be missing something and you can't sleep until you find something nice to sit upon it. No one could ever call that an original storyline. Shades, Blue Raider, Masters of Midworld, AMS3, Adventure PD, £1 plus disc. Shades, written by Phil Craven using Adlan, is not exactly an adventure, but more a look around the world of Shades, which is a multi-user game, only accessible via modem. Unfortunately, it's not a very good example of a mug, as the location descriptions are nearly all one line. No exits mentioned, and you have to experiment typing in north, east, etc. at each location. There are no mobiles, no NPCs, even adding atmospheric messages such as Ludwig has entered the game or Laurie appears in a flash of smoke would add something. Phil will be adding to Shades, so hopefully some of these recommendations will be implemented. Blue Raider, see Skull Adventures Disc 1. Masters of Midworld was written by Steve Anderson way back in 1986. Masters is set in the land of the Midworld and has recently been invaded by the forces of darkness and is ruled in fear by the evil wizard King Alfric. The secret to Midworld's freedom lies in the magic goblet, which is the power to banish all evil. Only the mysterious druids have the wisdom to use the goblet correctly. Like Blue Raider, Masters is written in BASIC and it shows. The game is very small parser and poor graphics. Nothing to write home about. Subsunk map. Convenient they put it in a sub. Or most of it anyway. Type-ins. Okay, all you code junkies, get your digits around this little lot. Ladders, 6128 only. A certain Mademoiselle Chamotte Isabelle of France sent in this game. The idea is to pick up the diamonds whilst avoiding the monsters. There are 7 levels, each with difficult ladders to climb and gems to collect. Use the joystick to move around. This game is 6128 only, unfortunately. Archiver. Andy Price of Dunstable and Bids has submitted a very useful disk archiver. It will archive tape to disk and disk to tape, and achieves a pretty respectable speed by reading and writing 1 track at a time, saving it on tape as a headless file of 1200 bytes length. Why that specific length? I don't get it. Graphic 6128 only. This is a very neat, succinct piece of code from Edward Major, which displays a lot of very pretty, almost fractal-like graphics. It uses circles and arcs to define the shapes of the coloured bits in between. But unless you have a 608, you'll just have to imagine what it looks like. Function. This is one of those small but helpful programs which allows you to carry out a dozen useful functions at the touch of a button. It comes from Gary Cousins of Shoeburyness. The functions are control copy, dump screen to printer, shift stops dump, period lists current program to printer, 0 swap to mode 0, 1 swap mode 1, 2 swap to mode 2, 3 clears variables, resets data, 4 saves current screen to tape, 5 loads screen from tape, 6 loads current program to screen, 7 loads current screen to memory, 8 replaces copied screen, 9 runs current program. None of the above change any normal keyboard function. I presume those are the function keys they're using. Doesn't specifically say that. Space Hockey. Nathan Hyder of the impressively named Hyder Enterprises has written a 2-player game in which you must guide a ball with your spacecraft into an opponent's goal. The game requires one person to use the cursor keys and the other to use the joystick. It isn't incredibly sophisticated, but it is quite good fun. Use only Aurora fireproof styrene cement, plastic cement. Okay. Small ads. Cluedo, Monopoly, Scrabble, Trivial Pursuits, plus a dozen more great games. Plus free JO3 joystick with $9.99 with every order. With £150 when purchased separately. Only $14.99 plus £2 carriage and ins. Back issues. Don't miss out. By prices for your UK only. Oh, they finally corrected Lords of Chaos. Cheat mode. There's no game safe from this man. Uncle Phil does it again. What the critics said. It reaches the parts other columns cannot reach, Vic Oliver. I wouldn't leave the house without it. Margaret Thatcher. Jules Sans Frontiers. Nostradamus. I don't fully understand the concept. John DeLorean, Richard Nixon. Lift that bar, tote that bale, Rod Lawton. We worry about Phil, stuck up there in Mapley. Rough and Ready. The pace of life is the subject of this cheat for Rough and Ready. In the nick of time, Graham Smith clocks up another routine which gives tape owners infinite life and a lot more time to live it. Rick Dangerous 2. Dunstable's demon deceiver Andy Price has done his duty and devised a devilish thing that starts with D for Microprose's new masterclass game, Rick Dangerous 2. You've played the game and seen the maps. Now here's a plethora of positively precious, or not again, pokes, infinite lives, lasers, and bombs. Quattro Arcade. The Complete Hacker seems to be the book of the month from Andy Price of Dunstable, who has decimated yet another Codemasters Quattro pack, getting to be a habit. This time it's Quattro Arcade set. All the pokes you could possibly wish for are here. And he also tells me that the Advanced Pinball Sim original game has a different multi-face poke. How does he do it at the price? Grand Prix 2, type Integra into the high score table. You don't need a multi-face cheat for that. Here's Rick Dangerous. Here it is, the first map we've received of level 2 of Microprose's brilliant platform epic. And it means that James Worrell of Peterborough wins our special Rick Dangerous competition. Well done, James. Rick Dangerous to the map. Vendetta, complete solution. We have to remember this. And look, Sim City. Oh, there's another rough and ready. Keeper's cheats are a bit thin on the ground just lately. But here's one from Stephen Troop of Kings Lynn and Jason Edwards of Bangor. Rough and ready. Hold down the keys DYLAN on the title screen, and the message "Cheat On" will appear just below the title. You now have infinite lives. SimCity. The town planning game gets the Poltax treatment from Belfast John Govan. He allows you to blow as much public cash as you want. Spin, spin, spin. The taxpayers can afford it. Where have I heard that before? Metal Army. Coloured Murad of Luton has been messing around with the old players' game Metal Army. I'm so impressed. They thought you might like to share some of his tips. Try to use the gun as little as possible. Don't use the passes unnecessarily. Get as close as possible to the electric discharges and coolant gas exhausts. This allows you to get past them faster. Use the lifts to destroy the mechanoids. There is room which requires 2 passes to get through. You must jump left while holding something. Holding down fire. To get to the last room, climb on the lift to the right, move up as fast as possible, fall off, and go down the shaft, and then open all the pass doors and drop down the hole before touching the switch. Impact and Star Fox. A couple of oldish games are given a new lease of life by David Wrench of Stockport. Bat and Ball Game Impact gets the level passwords. Also the coordinates for all the planets in Star Fox space game. What you have to do now is to stay alive long enough is find them. Thanks, Dave. Sometimes the old games are the best. Game Over 1 and 2. Dynamic has just re-released a compilation of Game Over 1 and 2. So here are the entry passwords so that you can play the second part of each game. Supplied by Darren Perrin of Norfolk. Cheat Mode Index. All the cheats from the past 12 issues. French Test. Flexible vocabulary testing program with all the words needed for GCSE divided into easy-to-learn topics. $14.95 disc only. Technosoft, not to be confused with Technosoft. CBCF out of Multiface 2, what a glorious waste of time! The Helpline. Help wanted a fighter bomber. Has anyone finished it? Uh-oh. Oh, we get this full page now. One day at the market. Look, computer games. Hang on, these look like copies. This definitely is. Bloggers, pow. You two buy something or naff off. You shouldn't be selling this stuff. It's against the law. I don't like it. Radar thinks of the money. Hello, is that FAST? £1,000 reward for information linked to prosecution and conviction. Any information on piracy should be passed to FAST, the Federation Against Software Theft. Okay, it's a half a page now. They're making it bigger. The Essential AA Games Guide. Now, at last, the Amstrad Action team have put together the definitive list of those classic games you must have. The list goes right back to the beginning of AA in 1985. But we'll be updating it every month with the latest and best in Amstrad gaming. Many of these are still available now, but some are no longer being published, in which case try Helpline. And bear in mind that this is a current buyer's guide, not just a list of historical milestones. Amstrad gaming has come a long, long way since the early days, and many games that looked good in the mid-80s look absolute crap now. This is a guide to the games you should buy today. Arcade style. Most computer games stem from arcade game principles, and the following, although not necessarily based on any particular arcade game, possess the same general themes, simplicity, and instant playability. Boulder Dash, Bomb Jack, Gauntlet, Arkanoid, Dizzy series. There's 4 of them now. Renegade series, the whole series, 3 of them. Cybernoid, Nebulous, Operation Wolf, Stormlord. Apparently we're forgetting Stormlord 2. Squeak, Again, we haven't seen the sequel yet, have we? That's coming soon. Rick Dangerous. Again, we're forgetting Rick Dangerous 2. Strider, Rainbow Islands, X-Out. Turrican. Arcade Exploration. This is a bit of a tricky category to define. Basically, it includes games that you have exploring a world, solving puzzles, and quite possibly indulging in some arcade-style blasting too. Big games that thoroughly absorb you. Lords of Midnight, Sweevo's World, Elite, Heavy on the Magic, Academy, Head Over Heels, Driller, Bloodwitch, Iron Lord. Still they haven't released the English version yet. Licenses. Increasingly these days, game publishers are looking for the latest cinema and TV blockbusters for their games ideas. And although the resulting games naturally cash in to a great extent on the popularity of the original, they can also be pretty good in their own right. Thunderbirds, Batman the Movie, and The Untouchables. That's all apparently. Simulators. An easy one to define. Games in this category simply mimic any other real-world activity. Winter Games, Bobsleigh, Advanced Tactical Fighter, Gunship, Chuck Yeager's Advanced Flight Simulator, Time Scanner. Should that be under arcade? Because that is an arcade port. Jack Nicklaus Golf, Italy 1990, Fighter Bomber, SimCity. Driving games, what more can we say? Pedal to the metal, crash-happy games for all those who can't afford the real thing, or who can't afford to keep crashing the real thing. A Continental Circus, Power Drift, Chase HQ, Stunt Car Racer, Lotus Effort Turbo Challenge. And original ideas. Every now and then, a game comes along that simply doesn't fit into any existing category. These games frequently contain a spark of genius. Spin Dizzy, Thrust, Sentinel, Deflector, Laser Squad. Is that just like Rebel Star, really? Emotion, Clax. It's better than a Real Star, I guess. Whatever. Console games, and finally one section that's going to get a lot bigger. You hope. Burning Rubber, Switchblade, Gaza 2. The thoughts of Chairman Rod. Afterthought. The AA staff peer into their crystal balls. Look, we fail to see what's funny about that. With the new year just starting and all, we thought it was about time to put our heads together and come up with the AA predictions for 1991. Nostradamus? Pah! He's nothing but a bumbling amateur. January. Top hardware manufacturer announces Spectrum emulator for the CPC. You take half the chips out, 750,000 turkeys found living in South America. February. Officials conducting field trials on their new timetabling systems reject BBC Electron in favour of £2.99 SO programmable calculator. Ronald Reagan elected governor of California. Okay. March. Entire tribe of South American pygmies found inhabiting Rod's beard. Experts baffled. Codemasters releases professional reunification simulator. April. Lost Cave sells another copy. Questions asked in the house. Adam buys around. Nostradamus right again. May. 64,000-year-old Commodore 64 found on Mars. Experts not remotely surprised. Amstrad firmware manual features £240,000 at Sotheby's. June. Rolling up the creek hits record sales in Poland. Greenhouse effect causes bumper crop of begonias in Harpenden. July. John Major wins TV personality test against Housebrook. Just. Atari ST relaunched as washing machine controller. August. Sir Clive Sinclair relaunches the C5 as C15, a machine capable of accommodating simultaneously all those who bought the original. Shares in Acme Pedal Company rocket. September. Poll tax abolished in favour of random house looting. Doesn't go far enough, claims Tory backbenchers. 3 people laugh at one of Adam's jokes. October, 10,000 Spicky Plus 3s found embedded in concrete pillar on M25. November, Nintendo Entertainment Systems given away with cornflakes. Skoda factory explodes in Omsk. Hundreds of pounds worth of damage. December, Gibbon learns Z80. Next step, I want to write a coders inlays. NASA buys 250 6128 pluses. Gunboat compo. Hooray! 20 winners of Brillo Grapevine compo. Okay. The March issue of Amstrad Action hits the streets on Thursday, February 21st. To reserve your copy, give this form to your newsagent. Dear newsagent, please reserve me a copy of my beloved Amstrad Action. If you're under 16, get your parent or guardian to sign here. To all newsagents, Amstrad Action is distributed by Future Publishing. Treasure Island. Use your voice to locate the treasure. Cheat. Ready to use cheats for your games. Games not included. Oh. Nightbreed. Cruiser. Iron Man. Puzznik. Total Recall. Hollywood Collection. AA T-shirt. Gotta have the T-shirt. AA Binder. Turtles. Turrican. Stop Press and Mouse. And Fun School 3. Amstrad Cartridge Power. It's addictive. It's supposed to say a perfect conversion of the popular arcade game. Conquer the balloon invasion in this exhilarating test of your gameplay skills. Instant loading. It's fast. Chase HQ2, the meanest pursuit game to hit your screen. It's fast, featuring explosive turbo boost. It's tough. Shoot the villains but dodge their flak. From all good software stockists. Chase HQ2. Well, it hasn't been dumped. Don't think it was even released. Apparently there's the odd cartridge out there somewhere. Robocop 2, he's back. Murphy's back. Battle your way through 7 levels of explosive action to face Robocop's greatest enemy, Robocop 2. Enhanced gameplay. Navy SEALs. It's tough. Sea, air, land. They're the men of the United States Navy's Special Forces. You control the team. You control the action. You'll hold the fate of innocent lives in your hands. So you got a screenshot of that. No one had the guts until now. Narc. Ocean. Arcade action and a big finish infiltrate the criminal underworld. Your mission is to seek and destroy the kingpin of the Mr. Big Corporation, if you get that far. Spectrum, Amstrad, Commodore Amiga, Atari ST. And that's that.